As we're getting news trickling in for WWE 2K24, a lot of fans are still asking, is this going to be an arcade style game? Or are we going to finally add more simulation to this gameplay? I'm hoping that we're adding more simulation to this gameplay, if I'm being honest. Don't get me wrong, I love the WWE SmackDown vs. Raw series. I love the Here Comes the Pain. I love all of that. I even enjoyed Fight Forever for what the game was. But when it comes down to the 2K franchise, I think that I buy these games because I want realism. I want simulation. A lot of people are asking for new updates when it comes to limb damage and things like weapon detection and things like freedom. We need more freedom in these games, man. We need more freedom when it comes to the weapons. We need a whole new weapon overall. I'm seeing in the comments over and over again that we need more weapon moves. I would like to see more weapon grapples, some weapon finishers, things that you can do with these weapons that make the game feel like what you see on TV. Another thing that is missing from the realism when it comes to universe mode is things like #1 contender matches, double title matches. I'm sure are coming in WWE 2K24 because of the loud outcry for them to be in WWE 2K23. I'm sure that we're going to be seeing triple threat tag matches and fatal 4 tag matches. I'm sure we will be getting our special guest referee when it comes to WWE 2K24. Things like that are just not going to sell me on this game when it comes to the next installment. I need some more realism when it comes to my universe mode. You need to add promos back. You need to add create a story back and incorporate it into your universe mode. You need to make my GM online. There's a few things that need to sell people when it comes to the next installment of the game because I feel like a couple match types just isn't going to do it. War Games was the selling point of WWE 2K23. It's all great, and I feel like they could do that, and they did do that, and it was a mode that we were waiting for many years, so I'm glad that it finally got added into the game. But now I would like to see some tweaks added to the mode when it comes to WCW-style War Games. Put a top on that cage, man. Put a top on it. Another thing I would like to see added back is create a finisher. I feel like when Brian was talking about it in our interview that this mode could come back bigger than ever, considering that 2K and Visual Concepts are working to overhaul the entirety of modes that were taken out of this franchise to begin with. We need diminishing face paint back. We need to be able to remove the straps of a singlet. We need to be able to do all of that to add to the simulation of this game. When it comes to the submission in this game, you need to completely overhaul this thing, man. The submission is trash. It's been trash for a while. The pin system is fine, but I would like to have different styles of pins, or even incorporate pulling on the trunks when it comes to a dirty pin. We've had the same dirty pin since the beginning of this franchise. I'm sick of just putting my feet on the ropes. There's got to be other ways to pull a dirty pin out, and we should incorporate it in to where we can have a little more simulation in this game. There's a lot of things to tweak in this game to make it a true simulation. Like I said before, that submission thing just needs to go. If you're going to have submission, I need to be able to crawl to the ropes. There needs to be an option if I can just pass out instead of tap out. There's got to be a way to incorporate some realism when it comes to the submission game, because I feel like the submission game has been lacking in this franchise since the beginning. And I just don't know what else to say other than add a pass out or a crawl to the ropes like we had before. There's got to be other ways of having fun with the mini game that comes with the submission mode. Obviously, my faction's not going anywhere, and like I said in my last video, my faction, if it's here to stay, don't limit what I can do in the my faction mode. Give me the models, give me everything that comes with it. Another thing that I think we should add for simulation is a little more freedom in things like Hell in a Cell, cage matches. I feel like cage matches have been the same since the beginning of the franchise. We've tweaked a few different things here and there, but Visual Concepts really needs to step it up when it comes to giving us the visual and the concepts that the community is asking for. 2K is full of great ideas, but when it comes down to the weapons, like I said before, a lot of things need to change about those weapons, man. We need to have some thumbtacks in there. We need to incorporate some new and different variations of weapons. I love that they gave us a stop sign finally, but you really can't do much with it except hit somebody over the head with it, and I would like to be able to have a little more freedom with these weapons. I loved the physics in WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 where you can take your opponent in a suplex, power bomb, power slam, whatever you want, and you can choose the direction that you're going to be throwing them in. I wish that they would add those physics back in this year's game and make the hit detection on these weapons a little more real. Give me a crash to the weapons, because you can do that in WWE 2K23, but it doesn't feel like anything's really happening. Though they land on a ladder when you give them a suplex, nothing is really crashing, you don't really feel that in the controller like you would in a SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. I need these physics back in the game ASAP. Another thing that would make it really fun and more creative is if you added something like create a taunt. I know that we have create an arena, create a moveset, create an entrance, but the entrances have really lacked the last couple of years. You don't really have as much freedom as you should in the created entrance. I would like to see create a taunt. There's a lot of people that make their own creator wrestlers on these games, and they don't even play with the roster that's given to them. I know somebody personally who won't even buy the game unless he can create good wrestlers throughout his entire game, and he hasn't bought the game for a couple years because they took away certain features that he doesn't like anymore. He loved the paint tool. We used to have paint tool back in SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 and 12. They took that away and they now have logo upload, which personally I think is so much better than doing a paint tool, because I'm not an artist when it comes down to it. But he loved the paint tool. What would match his creator wrestlers more than anything besides create a finisher and create a taunt? There is nothing that comes down to it that you can make full creativity a possibility with create a taunt, create a finisher. And to mix up the best thing, like I said at the beginning of this video, create a story. Needs to come back and incorporate that thing into My Universe mode. This would give it a really good simulation. You should be able to download more stories when it comes to community creations, along with amazing creations that this community pumps out on a daily. If I can download a create a story from everybody else, it could be wacky, it could be fun, it could be intricate, it could be detailed, it can be everything that we need to keep us playing this game all year long until 2K25 comes out. At the end of the day, there is a lot that needs done within this video game to make people happy. There's a lot of outcries for a lot of features, and I'm going to get to them in future content on this channel. But for right now, I felt like I really needed to drive home that simulation feature, because there's a lot of people that want the arcade style gameplay when it comes down to it. But for the majority, we all want a simulation game, and that's why we buy WWE 2K. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is it an arcade style gameplay that you want, or do you want simulation features? Give me your best simulation ideas in the comments below, and don't forget to check out more on this topic in this video right here. Have a nice day.